there's a will and there's also a passion that you have based on the recognition of, what's going on. And, one, I appreciate it, but it seems that, people don't get it unless they have to face or deal with a flood coming. The preparation process has been there for us, but it seems like people don't react until they hit the mountain.
The people,
the Muslims know better.
They don't have a clue. I mean, it's not inferior or superior, insuperior. It's not none of that. It's just like people don't have a clue. Does it seem like that to you, that the stuff we're talking about, we might as well put our head in a big bottle of water, just blow bubbles, right?
I mean, people are talking about it. It's what's the next step? People are talking about, recognizing the signs. You talk to the Muslims, they're talking about these are the signs of the last day. But now what? That's the question. But now.
Well, no, we said, look, you could remember the trend for the last 20, 25 years at least. Our trend has always been basically we would say there's 10% good people in the FBI and all that.
Right.
So that means in each unit or each organization, this is our hope, our estimation, this is 10%. What we were saying was, those people, this is a combination. Let's say it's not what we have to do, it's what we all have to do.
Right.
Now, they have a part too. That's what we're saying.
Right. No, I understand that.
Okay.
I understand you've always been a planner. Since I've been here, it's always been strategy and planning.
Right.
But if there were other people doing it, we would see that. And we're not seeing it.
Right.
And I guess that's my point.
Okay. Here's our strategy and our plan is just what it is. Our strategy is, okay, boss man, we're willing to help. We're going to do our part. We're going to feed people. We'll do stuff like that. We'll mosey around until it's all over. Don't worry about that. And we're going to enjoy ourselves. But to solve this global problem that's everybody's business, and your children are going to drown just like everybody else's. You're not going to get away, and go somewhere else. Okay. So this is our proposal to the system. Okay, now if you notice, we just came to this point in the last period.
Right.
It's not a retreat, it's not a giving up, but it's a recognition and it's an estimation. How much time we always talk about keeping score, right?
Right.
How much time do we have left to put this together? How much time does the earth have left to put up with this stuff? How much? So based on all of that, we say, just like we switched off on, we'll get around to all the black colleges and get them all juiced up. Well, we ran out of time on that. So we figured, not that it's not needed, but we and our resources don't have enough time to do that, and probably it wouldn't make a lot of difference anyway. I mean, based on who they think are good people. Remember, those people still follow Trump, the old man that can't talk. They follow Sharpton, if Sharpton want to thing. They follow,
right.
Black Lives Matter, and they stole all the people's money. and it might as well be White Lives Matter, you know, right?
That's right.
So, based on what's reasonable and what's unreasonable, because faith sometimes is not reasonable. You know, faith is not. We're saying like this. We don't believe we have enough time, enough ability to mobilize the earth and its people to do what's right at this time. And we're going to need, see, it's a combination of people. We're going to need the people inside, like the people who came running to Moses and said, man, they got a scheme going over in there, and you better get out of town. Well, it's not that this time. It's that the people inside the scheme have to come outside the scheme, and we have to cooperate, and all of there's a whole cooperation of people have to move together. So we have to get the tree planters to plant so many trees. We have to get the water conservationists to develop schemes to conserve the water. You know what I mean? They got the technical skill. They can do it with little or nothing. You know, just using the earth. They could pump some water from the Mississippi uphill to where have it collect up there. And big lakes, big pools, big canyons. And then let it run down there. Right? They can do all of that. They got the maps, they got the weights and measures. We can't do all of that. But we need all of those things to happen for the earth for the people of the earth to pull out of this. You see, and we recognize it. And so that's why post-traumatic growth has done everything we feel that it should have done to us. Tazkiyah bil Nafs has done everything because whatever they have, we don't even want it. You know what I mean? We don't even want it now. For somebody to do the things that need to be done, they have to have other people who are kind of like that, and enough of them. Because the shiny stuff that Pharaoh have, it might be people, some of the people are going to take that to the grave. You couldn't tell them that that's not what it is. They've never had it, and the way Bossman got things, they'll never get it. Right? They'll never get it. But we have a lot of faith and confidence, and there's a group of humanity who are arriving close to where we are.
Right.
Because they don't have the experience.
Right.
The experience that we have, and I've always, when I say always, I mean in the last decades, I've always felt that we're going to have to play a pivotal part so that the engineers and technicians and all of that, and the tree planters and all of those people, you know, and the conservationists can do their part. They have to keep coordinated and motivated. That don't mean that we'll wear a badge and say we're the chief coordinator and motivator. We may have a broom sweeping up the office, you know, but doing our part. This is not a new idea. This has been the general idea that we have now. It's been like this for a long time. And because it comes from the Quran and Hadith, the people always, they cover up their head, you know, they don't want to hear it. That ain't ain't nothing new. So that's kind of where we are. We're not sad about it, we're not despondent about it, but I remember fresh air. I do remember fresh air. I remember work. I got pictures with this work up in the mountains and in the forest. Maybe I was in jail, but what the heck, I was still in the forest. I created the forest, the white man created the prison, or the jail. I mean, it was this forestry camp. But that's why I was there. You know, I don't think my life is meant to be the common life, because I wouldn't have learned the lessons. My life is to be born in the country and to have those things around that are natural, you know, and that feels right. And if the white man thought he was putting me in jail in forestry camp, you know that old saying that you have in jail, you never had it so good. I liked it up there. Cutting the trees, sometimes getting a chance to be in a big thing of trees and all the shade and the peace and harmony. I could go in there and hang out for a while and daydream. Then you come boss man. Where you at? I ain't know what it was. Who you talking? I ain't here. So, but all of those are blessings. You know, if I would have been on the street, I'd have been going to school, and I would have been a dummy, right? But I was up in the forest, bugging trees, as they call it. You know, cutting down the trees. You could see the trees across the forest. That's dry at the top, that means the bugs that ate a hole around, they chewed the bark around the tree, and no water can get up to the top, and you can see all those trees. Anyway, all of those things was a part of the learning process. You know, it's when you're not in charge of your life, something else is pushing you. And then when you look back at it, you say, yeah, that's what was happening. Because, you know, you ain't had enough sense to take a boat or plane and go all over the world. The white man had to be chasing you, and he run you all over the world. Right? But you did go all over the world, right? And you learned what you needed to learn. Anyway, Akula Kalihana Wastaghfirullah Liwalakum. Alhamdulillah. Okay, I hope that made a little sense.
It did.
Because in time,